There we are. Hi, everybody.
I don't know why I wouldn't drink. I don't know. Maybe it felt pain in my throat. Maybe it made me feel nauseous. Maybe it was heartburn. But life-giving water was no, no, no. It felt like an invasive intruder. Everything felt like that. Light felt like that. I needed darkness, darkness. Somehow my mother acquiesced in our one-bedroom New York City apartment. I remember that the living room was dark, blessedly dark. No light, no water. My mother let this go on as long as the Christian Science going. Should I wait? You want to block someone?
No, we're good. I don't know what
Okay.
that.
As long as this Christian Science going mother would allow me to go, she finally gave up and called the hospital. Something is wrong. Something is very wrong. And they said, get her here now. What I remember there was out of all the weakness that I had had, somehow when they said they were going to stick a needle into my spine, all I knew was that I did not want this to happen. And strength came out of nowhere, screaming, clawing, and they had to have 6 different doctors and nurses holding me down. What I remember was a kind of pride inside. Little me needs 6 nurses and doctors to hold me down. Once they had drawn the liquid from my spine, I mean, that's not supposed to help you, but something happened, or maybe it was the adrenaline from my struggles. But I opened my eyes with the bright, bright light and saw, ha, ha, that's what they mean by measles. Little dots all over my body. That was cool. The doctors told my mother if she'd waited even a couple of more hours, I probably would be dead. My kidneys were shutting down from dehydration. It was so contagious that they had to put me off in a room by myself. I mean, everything had been different about this. When my mother even took me to the hospital, I remember her lifting me up, carrying me like I was a baby. 2 years later, or 1 year later, when I was 7, and I rolled off the bed. Well, I didn't roll off. I was doing somersaults that I wasn't supposed to do, and I hit my head on a piece of metal on the bed, and blood was streaming down. Well, I remember being really pissed off at that point because I wasn't being carried again. They kind of, the universe made up for that because I had this big bandage around my head with all the blood dripping down. And when we were standing on the street waiting for the taxi, people that walked by gasped, and that was pretty cool. But back to the measles time, I was alone in this room, quiet, being given water, food through the veins, whatever. I didn't have to do anything. And finally, one day, I felt like I was kind of me again. I wasn't in a half dream, half wake. Ah, I can stand now. And so I reached up to the, side of the bed to like stand up and was in utter shock because those legs didn't belong to me. They were some baby's legs that couldn't hold up my body. It had been weeks since I stood, and my muscles didn't even remember how. Everything about this was new. I don't remember when I actually asked for my doll, and I didn't ask for my teddy bear. What I asked for was something that had come to me newly, even though it was secondhand. It was the oddest doll ever. There was a hand-me-down from one of my cousins. The head was kind of like this flat lollipop top, and then a skinny body with squiggly legs that came out and hands that came out from the side of the body without any arms. It was written on it by all the cousin and all their sisters, and it the person who gave it to me was named Eileen. So even though I thought it was a boy, I called it Eileen. And Eileen was who I talked to every day, alone in that bed, happy to have company. A day came when they said I was well enough to be in a room with other children, which maybe would have been exciting if they were nice children. But first of all, somehow I was sharing a room with boys. I had enough of that at home with my little brother.
Oh, no.
And the boys looked at my beloved doll and went, "What's that funny looking thing?" It's my Eileen. When my mother came to visit, she said, "Oh, my dottie, my dottie, my dottie, what can I do? What can I give you?" And I thought about what it was like at home normally. My brother that I shared the room with, who was on the spectrum and always yelling and screaming. And my daddy, who I remembered being knee-high to him, reaching up to his thighs, hitting his thighs, screaming at him, telling him to stop twisting my mom's arm. And my mom, who just didn't know how to deal with it all, and would scream and scream and scream and loved us so much, and I knew it, but oh my goodness, the screaming. And I said to her, "Mommy, it was so peaceful. It was so peaceful when I was in the room by myself. Could you please, please, when I come home, just not yell?" "Oh, my baby. Oh, my dottie. Oh, of course. Oh, of course." And she tried. The first day, she didn't yell. It didn't last long. When I look back at that time, what I remember the most was that peacefulness. And that's something that whether I'm physically ill or well, that's what I still crave.
Wow.
Yay.
That was,
Bravo!
that was
Bravo!
great. That was great.
Now that was good acting. Very good acting.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, that wraps it up for today's storytelling presentation. Daniel, Jay, thank you so much for being here. And thank you all for coming out today and witnessing these stories and just listening. It's so important we just listen to each other, especially in these times. I guess in all times, but in these times especially, it's good to sit and listen and hear other perspectives. Once again, our next performance is in June. TBA. Check the Discord to see when we will be doing it.
Yep. Probably around the end of the month. 22nd.
End of the
maybe?
month.
Yeah.
Okay, so prepare towards that. If you're interested in talking about something awkward in your life, whatever it is, we don't care. We want to hear about it. Shoot for the end of June. Again, if you have any questions or want to run an idea by us, let us know. And anything else from Daniel or Jay?
No, just please spread the word, right? We love people to join. The more people that come, the more people will tell stories. We rely on people Not everybody wants to hear me every week, that's for sure. I don't. So we welcome your stories. Please give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just another thank you for the stories that we had. I think
Mm-hmm.
we can all agree they were wonderful and moving and taught us something. And thank you very much for braving the stage. I really appreciate it.
Very courageous. All right, the last thing we do is we take a picture to, prove it happened. So everybody get up on stage and we'll take a picture.
Take a picture.
Hold on.
Cheese.
Oh, I gotta get back to my kitty. Wait.
Get your kitty. Get your kitty.
Get the Dalek in here.
Hello, Dalek.
Oh, hello, darling. Come.
Oh, okay. Or the cat. There we go.
I gotta be my real self.
I know.
Okay. We got a couple people standing behind Elena and McKenna. Just the camera's straight ahead. So if you can't see the camera, a little dot in the middle. So
Angela was going to try to get bigger. I don't know if you have Angela.
Oh, just struck me again.
I'm not blocking
no,
anyone.
Angela.
I know, but you might not be seen. I don't know.
I think take one step to your left. There you go.
Jay, I'll make sure I'm in
everybody.
here.
That was your the other way. There you go.
Yeah.
Go
If only
back
you
where
could
were.
pick me up, you
A
know?
little more. Daniel,
do
move your
not say
left.
that. You're a cute little kitten.
Your left. Whatever. No.
Okay.
Do you help?
I think that's as good as... No, put your hand down. Okay, bye.
Right.
Yay! We did it! Thank you, everybody.
Take a picture.
Boy, that's hurting cats and Angela's.